Friends, if you're just clicking by, you have clicked by Just Stamp with Anna Marie, and today I am here to craft a fun, bright Christmas card featuring the Tree Lot dies and the Trees for Sale stamp set. And here is our project for the day. So how fun is that? I love the bright colors. This is Poppy Parade and Granny Apple Green. So you still have red and green, Christmas red and green, but they are very bright red and green. And this is what I'm creating today. I'm going to share with you how I made it. I think it's a fun card. What do you think? Would you send bright Christmas cards, or do you like the traditional Christmas card look? I think this one's kind of fun. Obviously this family's out camping, maybe in the mountains for Christmas. You've got a nice snowy background, beautiful green sky, and the little dogs. I'm not sure if you can tell, there's a spotty dog there, and he's running because his mate is inside the trailer. So fun. Okay, so here's what I'm using. Again, I'm going to go back to the paper from the Santa Express, and I picked on this particular pattern right in here. It's very cool the way the paper is made because you have multiples of the image, and I've already cut my supplies here. So here's the paper that's going to be the focal point of the card, and this measures, oh, I don't have my measuring tool. It measures about 3 1/4 inch wide, and this is half, so this is 6 inches. So I just cut the 3 1/2 row and then cut it in half, 6 inches. So I'm going to use that. My card base is basic white, standard size, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. I need 2 pieces of basic white. These measure about 6 inches across and 2 1/2 wide, and I need 2 of those. I'm not sure if you can see on the card, I have little stitched curves on here to represent the snow. So I'm going to be die cutting that. I'm going to be stamping my puppy dog on this little strip of basic white, and I'm going to be die cutting. My sentiment is stamped on about a 1-inch strip of Poppy Parade. I have 2 pieces of the silver foil, and I think it's called brushed silver foil. What's very nice about the pack is that you get different tones of the silvers. This is the silver foil, a specialty paper. Whoa! And you get a dark version and a lighter version. So there's my silver paper, and that's what's going to create the Airstream style trailer. And then I also need 1 small piece of black. So we are going to be doing some stamping, some die cutting, some heat embossing, and then we're going to do some card assembly. So, one more thing. I do have a small snippet of vellum as well. That's what I used for the windows on the trailer and on the door as well. So let's get started. We're going to start off with some stamping. And let's see. I need crumb cake and soft suede. This is a photopolymer stamp set. Let me share with you the stamp set. And I talked about this, I did mention, right now this is on back order. If you like the dies, however, you are going to want to place your order, get your celebration item, and then go back at the end of the month and pick up the stamp set, Trees for Sale, so that you have the coordinating pieces with it. All right, so we're going to be doing a little bit of stamping. I'm going to grab my foam mat because it is a photopolymer stamp set. And from the stamp set, I'm going to take the puppy dog for now, and I'm going to stamp him twice. One time in crumb cake, and oh dear, I don't have a, let's see if I can remedy that. I do need a little piece of scrap paper because I am stamping off. So I'm going to stamp in crumb cake, I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp again. Let's see what we get. Very good. Then I'm going to have a second puppy that I'm going to stamp in soft suede. And since it's a darker brown, I don't have to clean my stamp. And there we go. So I've got my puppy dog in 2 tones. And we are going to be cutting with the dies from the Tree Lot dies. And I wanted to share with you these. I have already pulled the ones that I need, but look what is left in the set. You have about 3 sizes of outline trees in the details. You have a wreath, a bow, a branch, the wood, the pennant, the sign, the post, and the lights. You have all kinds of details. You even have the little curtains that you can hang in the window. You've got some star elements. You have all kinds of things. And in fact, there are 24 pieces in these dies. What do you think? I think that they are awesome, considering you get them for free during Sale-a-bration. And here we go. We are going to be doing some die cutting with those dies. So let me put the ink away for now. Just going to push that aside. And I'm going to bring in my mini cut and emboss machine. I'm going to open that up. And I need my, let's see, I need my platform. I need my cutting pad on the bottom. I need my paper. And then I need the die. And here we go. I'm going to put that in place, and let's see, I am going to use a tiny bit of washi. So this is washi tape. It just helps keep the die in position because my plates are a little bit curved and they don't always go through smoothly. And I don't want to ruin my die cut. I want it to be as close to the stamped image as possible. So I'm just holding that in place. I'm going to go ahead and cut through once. And you do have to stagger the plates. If you do not have a mini yet, it's a life challenge. It's a game changer. Sometimes it's a little bit of trouble with this stacking the sandwich, but it is very convenient to have it right here on the tabletop when you're crafting, instead of having to go over to another crafty area. All right, so there's one puppy. I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to cut the second one. Remember, one goes on the outside and one is on the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and secure that down. Cut that through. And so the key to this is to go ahead and stagger the plates and feed it through. It likes to have the sandwich fed in uneven layers. So there we go. There is my second puppy. And we are going to be adding some eyes and some spots to him in just a minute. I'm going to do the rest of my die cutting. And let's see if I can stack these up a little. So I've got a little trailer, and I'm going to need to cut it in black, the complete trailer. And you're going to see how I created that little Airstream trailer in the silver foil. All right, so I've got my black die cut, and you can see how it pops out the windows, the main window and then the door window. I'm going to hold on to that, and I'm going to run now my silver Airstream. And on this one, let's see if I can do this here. I don't need that that stake. I'm not sure what it's called. I don't have one of these, so I don't know what the parts are called. In silver, I don't need this little piece right here. If you know what it's called, go ahead and comment below. That way I can use the correct word for it next time. So if you're if you like the outdoorsy life and you used or traveled in one of these Airstreams, you probably know all the terminology. Okay, so now I've got my silver camper or trailer, and I was hoping to catch a piece. See that little window? Oh, there it is. Do you see the little window that it cut away on the door? I'm going to hold on to that. I'm going to try not to lose that. That is going to become the hubcap on my tire. So I'm going to put that aside. Hopefully I don't lose it. And I've got my silver foil that's the whole outline of the trailer. I'm going to put that aside. I'm not done die cutting yet. Next, I need just about an inch of the silver foil. And this time I'm going to cut the detailing. This has the I don't know, the slats that have the detail on for the trailer. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that and run that through. So the tree lot dies are a free celebration gift at the $100 level. So may I suggest, if you don't have a mini, you could use the mini as part of your $100 purchase. The mini is, I think, $63. And yeah, that'll get you close to your sale requirement to get your free dies. All right, so I think I'm done die cutting. I'm going to move this aside. And let's do a couple of things quick before I start losing things. So I'm going to bring this in, and the first thing I'm going to deal with is that little hubcap, and here's how I did it. I'm going to need my Take Your Pick tool. Hello, Debbie from JT Joshua Tree. I'm glad that you can join us. I am crafting a using the tree lot dies and the Trees for Sale stamp set. All right, so I put the little hubcap right into the black. You can see how it goes. There we go. And I'm going to continue building on this black trailer. Let's see if I can take this away. You can probably see better. And on this trailer next, I'm going to add a piece of the vellum. And I just need a little snippet to cover the two windows. So I'm just going to take my paper snips. This does not need to be nicely cut. We just want a little strip that's going to cover those two openings. We don't even need it deep. And so here's what I'm going to do. Again, I'm going to put a little tiny bit of liquid glue. Dot, dot, not a lot. All right. Now I'm going to add my vellum. Oops, I didn't even need it anyway in the end. And hold on to that. Looks like I could have cut it a tiny bit smaller. Here's what I'm going to do is flip that over. Oh, that's perfect. Not even showing through. Okay, so let's see if I can. My next layer, well, my hubcap came off. Sticky hands. There we go. The next layer is going to be the silver foil layer. Now I don't need that tire, so I'm just going to snip that straight across. And I don't need this little piece here on the trailer. So next I'm going to add that to my black layer. And you could use the multi-purpose liquid glue, but on silver foil, if you have that messy liquid glue, it is going to show up. So I'm just going to use some glue dots. It's a dry adhesive, and they stick. So just a few glue dots. Now I'm going to add this layer atop so you can see how it's coming together. Yes. So I've got my little tire, the hubcap, I've got my little black stake there. Now I'm going to add the detailing that has the little slats on it. And I'm going to add these with, again, a glue dot. So if you are very neat you could use the multi-purpose liquid glue, but for silver foil, I find it easier. It's a hitch. Thank you, Debbie. I knew you would know. Someone who enjoys the outdoor camping life. There you go. It's a hitch, silly goose. All right, next. Now I need the bottom layer of that detailing on the trailer. And I'm putting one on each little piece. And this is going to be added right here at the bottom. And this is how we're forming this adorable little detailed trailer. How sweet is that? So we have our windows, we have our wheels with the hubcap, and we have our black hitch. Thank you, Debbie. And now, before I lose him, I'm gonna go ahead and put the darker dog in the window so you can see him coming through. Isn't that fun? And I'm gonna add him with the glue dot. And just go ahead and position him right where I want him to peek through here. It's kind of like he's sitting at the dinner table inside the trailer. Okay, so I don't want his tail showing through the other window. There we go. I just snipped his tail. There you go. Now I'm going to set him aside for just a second. I'm going to take my crumb cake dog and I'm going to bring in, let's see, a soft suede marker. I'm going to add an eye. And then I'm going to add some little spots to him. So he's a little oops, I'm going to use my brush tip because the pen tip is a little bit dry. Just add a few little spots. His coat has a little bit of color. So he's a spotty dog. Maybe he's got a little bit on his ear. There we go. So he is going to be chasing after the trailer in just a second. I am going to do a couple more steps. We're going to be building our card in just a minute. Now I'm going to bring in my pattern paper, and again, this is from the Santa Express paper. I love this sheet. We get about, I want to say, 4 rows of this particular pattern, and I cut it. It's about 3 1/4. I cut it right down at 6 inches. It's wider than I need for my card base, but I want to be able to pick exactly where I want to position it. So, I thought I had, oh, there's my bone folder. I need this. So I pre-scored my cardstock at 4 1/4. I'm going to bring in my bone folder and burnish that down so I have a nice crisp fold. Next, I'm going to add the designer series paper, and let's see, I am going to try to make this work for me because I want to be able to position the little trailer here so I'm not covering too much of the pattern. It is so stinking cute. I don't want to hide it. So I need to see, is it better to push it over more towards the side? And I think we're just going to have to live with that little present not showing through. I think that's just the way it's going to work out. Well, I can put it there. Okay, so I'm going to slide this all, I'm going to left align it here. This is going to be adhered with seal. So I'm just going to put a little bit of seal on here. And I'm going to add it up to the fold and flush align it or abut it to the left. There we go. And you can see I'm just going to have to trim that off. Let's see if I can bring in my mini cutter right here. Right there. There we go. That trimmed that up nicely. Now, I am going to be adding a couple of hills of snow. That's what I need my basic white, 6 inches across, and I am using the curved stitched die. This comes from the Basic Borders dies. So here's something else that you can add to your order along with the mini to get you up to your level to get your free dies. We get different borders here. There's a chevron, a envelope, a scalloped, a cloud, and the curved. which is what I'm using today. And I'm actually going to cut 2 of these. So let me bring back in the mini and bring back in my paper. And what I'm going to do is make this, right now the paper is wider than we're going to need. However, that's going to give us some options when we create our hills. So this one's not critical that you add washi tape to fasten it down. However, let's see if that's going to go through for me. Yeah. Because we do kind of want it a little bit off alignment. You're going to see what I mean in just a second. One curve there, and right now it's wider than I'm going to need. I'm going to add my second one, and this one's going to be a little bit higher and lower on the other end. So you can see I've altered how I'm cutting these little stick. All right, so now I have my 2 snowy hills. We'll bring back in our card base. And what I want to do is, these are going to have to be trimmed up, but I want it to kind of align that way. See what I've got going on here? I'm just trying to do, if I do one hill so that we expose part of the pattern up here, but if I bring it too low, then I have these little ends that are not covered. So you can see because of the width of the pattern paper, we need a little bit of covering over that, and it actually works out perfectly because we need some snow for the trailer to be parked as well, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add some adhesive here, and again, we are going to be trimming this down. So I'm going to put it kind of at an angle here. And then I'm going to add the second one here. What I'm trying to do is cover this little corner up with my hill. So let me add adhesive. It's going to come in at a curve. All right, and what I'm going to do now is turn it over, and we are going to chop it off. Hopefully, let's see, my mini chopper will work nicely. You could hand snip it, no worries. In fact, we might just have to do that for the base of the card. I just want to make sure that it's right up there. Yeah, it's a little bit thick. I think I'm trying to go through too many layers. I might have to hand snip it. Hopefully I can cut a straight line, right? Let me bring that in, and I'm just going to follow the line of the card, just like so. And let's do this one this way. And just a little tiny bit to trim off here. And now we should have our little hills. See what I did? Now I might need to put some adhesive. I can feel it loose down here, which is no problem. I'm going to bring in my liquid glue and just kind of lift that up and secure that down. There we go. Okay, so I'm almost there. I'm going to add my trailer, and the trailer is going to be popped up with dimensionals. And I'm just supporting it as much as I can, but I don't want them peeking through the window, so I have to place them strategically. So Do you think it's too early to be thinking about Christmas cards? It's only July, right? But I think July is kind of a good time. It's too hot to be outdoors. Unless you're in a swimming pool. So being inside crafting for the holidays, I think it's a good thing. Now I'm going to bring in my crumb cake again and do a little more stamping. The stamp set has these cute little paw prints, these paw tracks going up here. So I'm going to add those on the snow. So it's more like the little indentations from the footprints. And I am stamping in crumb cake, but I want them very faint. So I'm going to stamp, and then I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp on my card. There we go. So little footprints. And now I'm going to bring in the little spotty puppy. How are you doing? Do you think this card is too fussy? Is it taking too long? This is probably a stepped up card, so it's not a quick and easy. It takes a little bit more time. We are die cutting. And then we still have a little bit left to do for the greetings. So let's go ahead. Then that's being popped up on dimensionals, and I'm going to put him in a leaping position. He's running towards the trailer. Cute, right? So we're not done yet. We have one more thing to add. We want to add the greeting that's part of the stamp set. So let me go ahead and do some stamping, embossing. So let me put that up here. I'm going to bring in my Poppy Parade. Now, because I'm going to be doing some heat embossing, I am going to pre-treat my paper, my cardstock, with the embossing buddy. And so let me show, let's see if I can get this over. In the Holiday Mini on page 49, you can see the Embossing Additions Toolkit. So what I'm using is the Embossing Buddy. I'm not using a tray because I actually store my powder in a tray. And this kit also includes the crafting tweezers and the little brush in case you need to touch up your embossing. So this is a great kit to have if you don't already have some of these pieces, or if you're just getting started. It's on page 49. The entire toolkit is just $27. So that is another option if you are shopping. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp my greeting on the Poppy Parade. I'm going to use my Versamark pad because I'm going to be applying white embossing powder. So right through here, this one says Christmas Greeting. It is from the Trees for Sale stamp set, so you can see there's the greeting. Another option would be So Very Merry and You Light Up the Season. So 3 different greetings. They're all very fun, appropriate for this bright, fun Christmas card. All right, so next I am going to be adding my embossing powder. You can't see my stamping yet. Well, maybe you can a little bit. I need to add the powder. So let me move this. And this is what I mean by not using the tray, because I store my powder in these little containers with locked lids, and I chose a size that's large enough for me to just apply my powder right over top, and then it'll catch right back in the container. That's the way I like to do it. And I'm just going to do another sprinkling. So there's my greeting, Christmas greetings, right through here. So as I craft my holiday cards, I know that I'm going to be doing different styles of cards. This one's a fun, younger style. I know I'm going to be doing the more traditional kind of Christmas card as well. And there we go. All right, so next, my next step is to melt the embossing, and hopefully it's not too loud for you. This is just melting the powder. You know it's melted when it's shiny. You don't see any powdery bits, and you can rub your finger over it and you're going to feel the embossing and it's going to look shiny. There will be no dull areas. So the heat is melting the powder. The white embossing is a great option when you want a darker colored cardstock and you want your stamping to show through on the darker color. The white is a nice contrast to the bright color or dark color. And I'm fussy cutting. I could have left it as just a straight banner. I kind of like it fussy cut, kind of going along the shape of the greeting. It won't take too long. It's a small image. And right through here. So as I approach the weekend, my plan is to spend some time in the pool on my new floating chair, reading my Jeffrey Archer book and just relaxing. Don't have too many plans to get work done this weekend. If you joined me this week during my BOGO sale, thank you. I had a great shopping week. Lots of stamp sets have new homes. There we go. All right, so there is my greeting. Christmas greetings. I'm going to bring in my card. I do want to pop this up on dimensionals, and this is the perfect size for, let's see, oh dear. I thought I had my minis out here. What did I do with them? At this point, I need to tidy up my work table because I'm losing things. Right? It always happens. And I know I have minis because of the size. Here we go. This will work. Here are mini dimensionals. I'm just going to, it's kind of a wide greeting, so I'm going to support it all the way across. And I'm going to pop this up. So this adds a little bit of pop of red to the card, and it'll make the greeting stand out. And I think I want to place it, see, this one's going to be slightly different than my other card. Where do you think? Should I put it closer to the center? I think I'm just going to wind up having to cover part of the candy cane just because of the way the pattern sits. And I think I like it right there. There we go. There is my fun, bright Christmas card. It looks a little bit different than my original, only because the swatch of paper that I use, see, you can see it's one continuous stream going across, and this one has two little pile of presents to the right. This one has one present right in the middle. So it looks a little bit different, but still cute, right? And just a little bit of die cutting, a little bit of stamping, a little bit of heat embossing, and I've got a cute, fun, bright Christmas card. What do you think? Does it look like your style? I think it's a nice change from the traditional colors, the deep reds and greens, but I will be doing some of those cards at Christmas time as well. So again, this card is featuring those tree lot dies that are part of the Sale-a-bration selection. They do coordinate with the Trees for Sale stamp set. So here's, if you have a catalog, here's where they are in the catalog. You can see all of the elements, 3 different sizes of trees, the shape, the outline, or the detail. You've got your little trailer, you have a pole for your lights, you have a banner. You have all kinds of elements to create a cute card, and lots of samples right in the brochure. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Barbara. So, and the stamp set, let's see if I can find the stamp set in the catalog to share with you. Again, it's not available right now, but don't let that hold you back from purchase or making a purchase to get your free dies, because things are being depleted. Inventory is not going to last. Here's the stamp set. Trees for sale, it is $22. And you can see you get the 3 different sizes of trees, the little tracks, little tree stand. You've got the snow, you've got snowballs and snowflakes. It is a very simple, pretty set to use. And you've got more samples here with the stamping. So do not delay if that's something that you're interested in for Sale-a-bration. All right, my friends, I will not be here next week. I will be away, enjoying myself with girlfriends. If you have any questions or comments, post right below. I hope I've inspired you to get crafting. Start thinking about your holiday projects now, because before you know it, it is going to be December 25th. All right, my friends, thank you for watching. Happy stamping.